Hi everyone, it's Roger and Jeremy here from What's on Disney Plus with this club movie review. We're going to be taking a look at Bolt. So this one was an interesting one when we watched it because it was on TV the other day for me, and I kind of ended up watching it and I was going, okay, this is like, to me, one of those movies. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I have a dog, so therefore I'm a little bit biased on the fact that it does contain a rather nice dog, but also I feel it's very underrated as a movie. It's very simplistic, it's very simple, but I'm sure kids just love it. I'm sure I'm sure it's got a lot more much bigger audience than it has. And I do think it kind of was the stepping stone for Disney to kind of get into doing the CGI movies in a different way, because this feels like a massive step up from some of the movies that they released before this one.
Yeah, definitely. Bolt in that post Renaissance, Dark Age or second Dark Age, depending on how people identify that branch, that era of Disney stuff. Bolt has always been my favorite from that era.
Mm.
It's simple, but it's fun. It's easy to follow. Uh, my only complaint is ever that Miley Cyrus sings on it. But
Yeah.
it's a back to basics kind of thing
Mm.
because it feels like the ones before it were kind of uh, Chicken Little and Meet the Robinsons, where they were testing out animation. And
Mm.
this one feels like they got the animation down finally for the 3D stuff. So now they're just going to do a very simplistic storyline to make it work before
Yeah.
they kind of move on into this permanently.
And also, like, maybe not focus too much on humans, because I mean, actually, on here it played an important role in the Disney revival. This was a major part of that whole thing of kind of getting it going, because I think obviously Tangled is in a completely different place,
Right.
but it definitely, I think it does. I think it was a really solid move in that direction. I do think it's definitely worth checking out. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought, and I had seen it before, and I watched it back going, it's pretty cool. I've actually have got a little figure down here of, I remember buying years ago, of Rhino inside of his little hamster ball. And yeah, I can see why it was nominated for a number of like Oscars and stuff like that, and Golden Globes and stuff. And I can kind of see how it maybe wasn't up there with Pixar movies, but
No.
it's a nice simplistic movie. I'm sure something maybe for the slightly younger kids. I could see putting this in front of like my 5-year-old nephew, and I think he would enjoy this kind of movie. It keeps everything going. I like the idea as well that the dog's obviously thinks he's got superpowers,
Right.
which it is a bit like, I mean, I know dogs can be a bit dumb, and when I see some of the things that my puppy does, I do kind of think, yeah, but then I kind of go, I think it might have worked out that when you're not in the room and it starts barking at the door all night, or it needs to go out for the loo, it would blow up the kitchen.
Yeah.
So one thing was, I'm sure a dog would. I know my dog barks at me all the time. So I don't that part of it, but I like the idea of them involving a cat as well, and kind of going along with it, but him helping him out and just slowly coming to grips. It's like the opposite of a superhero movie where he's learning he doesn't have the superpowers.
Right. Um, when I watched it with my wife, I compared it to Dumbo, and when you study the early days of Disney after the major success of Snow White, Pinocchio and Fantasia were box office bombs. People
Mm.
forget that they were pushing the boundaries of animation at the time, but they were not the successes we think of. A lot of it due to World War II shutting down
Mm.
theaters in Europe, but even in the States where we were at war at the time, it's neither one of them did all that well. And then Dumbo was basic, simplistic, and was this box office smash for the time. And that's kind of what Bolt was. It's
Mm.
especially because Meet the Robinsons right before it is kind of all over the place. So
Yeah.
it was just like, hey, let's just stay focused and
Yeah.
do something.
Meet the Robinsons is on my watch list for doing one of these videos at some point in the future, because it's the one I miss. Again, there's that whole era where Pixar was just killing it and Disney were just flopping around all over the place, and this one definitely was, I think, a highlight, and it really did kind of, like I said, start boosting up what we saw from Disney going on from this one. Very also interesting to see, like you say, Miley Cyrus and John Travolta, not really necessarily two actors that you tend to think of as carrying a Disney movie nowadays. But I
No.
mean, looking here at, had a budget of 150 million, brought in a total box office of 310, so it was a success.
Yeah.
It was, it did pull it in. But no, I definitely, I was impressed with this one again, watching it back and going, yeah, more people should watch this one.
Yeah, I think this is where you see that Disney is in their main animation studio was getting things back in order to where we would get the boom that we've had with the revival from Tangled and Wreck-It Ralph and Frozen everywhere.
But no, so if you were to rate this out of 5, what would you give it?
I'd probably give this one probably about a 4. For me, I really enjoy it. Like I said, I've seen it probably 2 or 3 times now, and I've always come away enjoying it. But I always feel like if I try to, I don't want to compare it to other stuff from different eras, especially because it's not going to hold up to those. And I don't want to compare it to Pixar, that would just between Toy Story and at least through Up, I think Up or Wall-E around that time frame. So it's just like they were just knocking it out of the park every time they put something up there. So
I'd probably go for 3.5. I think 4 might be pushing it. I wouldn't give it like an 8 out of 10. I think that's, I mean, it's good. It's a good, solid, easygoing Disney movie. Definitely worth checking out if you have a subscription. Haven't seen it, or maybe you haven't seen it in a while, but definitely go let us know. And also let us know in the comments below if you enjoyed Bolt and what you thought of it. Love to hear your thoughts. Remember, you can go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. You can like, follow, and subscribe as well on all the different social medias. You can follow us as well on audio platforms, and you can support us on Patreon from as little as $2 a month, and you get early access to these episodes a few weeks before everybody else gets to see them, along with other bits and pieces as well. Jeremy, where can they find you?
You can find me, my wife and I have some podcasts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find I Watch It With My Wife, I Listen With My Wife, and Caregiver Chronicles on there. And then we also have our website, withmywifepod.com. So you can find us on all of those places.
Okay, on that note, guys, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you guys soon. Later.
Bye.